Hey y'all, welcome back to the Gent Life podcast. Again, I am Joseph Ashmore and I am grateful for you watching. Thank you. Thank you for you listening or watching, whatever you're doing. Either way, you're tuned in to the Gent Life podcast. And while you're here and I have your attention still, drop a comment, hit the like button, and share. Those shares will mean more than you know it. You know it because you listen to other YouTubers. You listen to it. You know it because you listen to other podcasters. Those shares go a long way. They help me grow. They help me reach a grander audience. Thank you. The topic of today's podcast is I let my 9-year-old drive around the block for the first time. And I'm excited. I'm excited to tell you that, hey, the car's still in one shape. She's alive. She's smiling. I'm here able to share this story. Let's get ready for a story because it is a good one. The story begins with me finishing an oil change. My car is up on ramps. I'm ready to reverse. She asked me if I wanted to go on a walk. So, yeah, let's go for a walk. Let me finish the oil change. Let me top the oil off. Pour the rest of the oil into that motor. I do that. I clean up. Dispose of the old oil. I dispose of the old oil properly. It is now in the new oil can that I'm going to drop off at AutoZone. Bing, bing. Natalia is in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. And I give her a quick lesson. I explain to her what P, N, R, and D mean. The world's changing, and it's good to know that I'm setting my kids up for success. It's never too early to be prepared for success. So we're on the ramps. She knows what park, she knows what reverse, she knows what neutral, she knows what drive is. So she puts it in reverse, she puts her foot on the brake, puts it in reverse, and she goes, boom! She hits that drive button. She hits the drive pedal so hard, it feels like the car just lifted. The front end just lifted up and dropped down off of the ramps. Boom! Car hits the ground. She hits the brakes. Thank goodness she knows where those brakes are. Keyword, gonna add to it this time. Thank goodness she knows where the brakes are this time. So now she's all scared and panicked. Oh my God, Dad, what did I do? Did I do good? Dad, where am I? She's, yes, pretty much hyperventilating. It's Natalia, relax. Calm down. You got off the ramps. Good job. She catches her breath. All right, Natalia, let's back it up. Now, as you back up, you got to make sure you look left and right still, even though we have a reverse camera. Because you never know who's driving up or down the street. Our cameras won't catch that, so you got to look on your own. She makes it her attention to look left, right. She does the thing. What she also does is slam on the reverse pedal and just reverses. She doesn't let off of that reverse pedal either. I picked her up. I grabbed her arm. Stop! Stop! I pretty much pulled her up off of the seat so she couldn't reach the pedals anymore, is what I did. Whew, that was scary. That was scary. She was scared. It's like, whew. So when all that stopped, we both caught our composure, like, whoa. It's like, all right, Natalia, I'm going to reverse. So she hops out. Before she hops out, she's like, Dad, I take my foot off the brake now? I take my foot off the brake now? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, there's no reason for you. Like, yes, take your foot off the brake. Get out. She gets out, and the car begins to roll backwards. I'm like, oh. In my head, I'm like, I take immediate action, and in my head, I'm like, oh, my goodness. This is what you mean by taking your foot off the brake. The car starts to roll backwards. I push her out of the way. I jump in with my right foot first, and I just jump in on the brake pedal. Boom. Car stopped. Car stopped. I reversed the car, put it forward in the road, and boom. After I reverse, she hops back into the driver's seat. We go over the same lesson we just went over. What does P mean? What does R mean? What does N mean? And what does D mean? She gets it all right. It's like, all right, I'm confident in you now. I'm now confident in you. She's going over all these things, explaining it to me. Now, she hits the gas pedal. I'm like, Natalia, when you drive, you hit to change gears, you hit the lever. I already went over this with her. You hit the lever, hit the brake, you put it into where you want to go. She does it. She starts to drive forward, and it's like this. Just tap the gas into her. So she taps the gas. So she goes, whoa, slows down. The car slows down because it's not getting any more gas. Whoa, picking up speed now. Slowing down, picking up speed. Whoa, picking up speed. So we're picking up speed continually till we get to the end of the street. By this time, she's on the wrong side of the road. She's in the wrong lane. And I kind of get, not loud, but it's like, hey, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. She stops. She's excited. Natalia is excited, very excited. And I love it. I'm excited for her. It was easy to remember because we only went around the block. And this just happened maybe 30 minutes ago. So we go around the block. Boom. Now, we're at the stop sign. It's time to turn. So she starts to hit the gas. Oh, I'm sorry. She's driving with 2 feet at this time. At this time, she's driving with 2 feet. No. Yes. She's driving at 2 feet. The last couple, right before stop sign, she's getting it. The car sounded weird. I caught the noise. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. You're driving 2 feet? Yeah, Dad, I'm driving 2 feet. I'm like, no, you only drive with 1. So we bust the turn. She kind of does it by herself. She tries her best to do it by herself, but she's making these micro turns. So it's swerving to the left and not turning to the left. So I reach over with my left hand. I just turn the wheel myself. And she's just off not like a bat out of hell, but she's a galloping horse finally like, oh, I have freedom. It's a great way to put it. She's driving with 2 feet again. I'm like, all right, Natalia, just slow down. The car sounded weird. But you know what? She's driving. And that's what the objective was. Let's drive around the block. She's driving with 2 feet. She's got the pressing the brake, pressing the gas simultaneously. So the car is sounding weird. The car is sounding weird. She's driving around the block. All right, so we're on the 2nd street now. And she's, again, in the wrong lane. So I'm telling her, you gotta get into the right lane. She pulls herself into the right lane. I have my hand over the steering wheel, but she's doing this herself. I was scared that she might overdo it and end up in someone's front yard. So I'm holding the steering wheel so she doesn't overdo it again. And as we get to the other left-hand turn, a car starts to turn around the corner. And I get scared. Like, oh my God. Natalia, let go of the steering wheel. I will take control of the steering from here. Okay, Dad. And she's driving. And same thing, like she's tapping the gas, letting off the gas, tapping the gas, letting off the gas. And while she's doing this, once in a blue, she'll hit the brakes. She'll be like, oh, she'll gain too much speed from tapping it. And when she hits the brake, whiplash. Whiplash. Now we're at the turn finally. I'm like, Natalia, for real, don't touch the steering wheel. Because around the corner there's a truck. And we're not hitting a truck. So she does what I ask of her. I turn the wheel. And this time she's like, Dad, I'm going to just go. Can I do this? She's saying, I want to do this by myself. I appreciate your ambition, Natalia. So let's go after it. Let's go. Let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can do it. And she does very good by herself. I'm very jittery. I'm very antsy. Hand over the steering wheel so we could just hit straight. But she does very good halfway through the street. And I mentioned to her, hey, Natalia, what are we going to do next when we get to that sign? That sign that is red. What do we do at that sign that is red? Dad, we stop. She keeps her eyes on the road. She does not look at me. She keeps her eyes on the road. And she stops right there in the middle of the road. She stops right there in the middle of the road. Awesome kid. She just starts laughing at herself she don't fist palm or a hand bump herself, hand to the face herself. But she did in her head. She definitely, I don't stop here. You're right. Good job, Natalia. But now, once she did that, I don't know what happened. She started driving with 2 feet again. Brake and gas at the same time. And from this halfway through the street to the end of the street, I'm also telling her to watch out for the stop sign. I'm also saying, drive with 1 foot, drive with 1 foot, drive with 1 foot. So I imagine that half of the street was very stressful for her. Yeah, definitely imagine that's pretty stressful for her. Okay. Mental note taken. Glad she'll remember that. Man, it's a little bit of I don't know, an adrenaline rush. Anyways, she makes it to the stop sign, and I just stop her. I put my hand on her cheek, she was panicking for some reason. I don't really know why she was panicking. It was the same thing. I'm driving with 2 feet. This is a stop sign. I stop. She has to take a turn. Just the basics of driving, she's overwhelmed, which is, hey, great. Overwhelm yourself and overcome. And she did that fantastically. But I just grabbed her by the cheek. Natalia, you're doing fantastic. Now, don't let me forget, there's a lot of whiplash going on. But now we're on the 3rd Street, and I make the turn this time. She kind of froze up. I make the turn. Now we're driving. And this 3rd road, she's still driving with 2 feet. To be honest, she drives with 2 feet the whole time, pretty much. Once we got off the 1st Street, the whole ride was pretty much 2 feet. I don't know why. But it's fine. I'm not even. Car's intact. She had a great time. She learned a lesson. I'm breathing. I'm intact. And my daughter learned a lesson. I couldn't be happier. We're driving down. I'm getting whiplash. I'm kind of staring. We make it to the corner to where to our street. Making the corner to our street. And there's another car coming. It's all right, Natalia, let go. Same thing. Natalia, let go. I'll drive. I'll steer the steering wheel. She gives me the steering wheel. I steer. We make it to the house. And again, whiplash. Boom, 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 boom. Neck broken. Everything from the trunk was flying to the front. Again, my seats are down. I had stuff in my car. I had boxes in my car that needed to get unloaded and loaded and loaded and unloaded. But the one thing that I keep in my car just start flying through the front. But she makes it. But long story short, great job, Natalia. The 3 lessons you learned were park, reverse, neutral, drive. The lesson she told me, number 2 lesson was when you hit the gas, you tap it for real. You don't just floor it because while a car's not a gator, a farm gator. Like a farming gator, you could just floor it and go nowhere. A car's not like that. Uh, and drive with 1 foot. She learned 3 lessons out of this. I'm very proud of you, Natalia. Yeah, I'm very proud of her. So we go inside, and she's all excited, starts bragging to everybody. I drove my car. I drove my car. I drove Dad's car. Yeah, we're all happy for her. Esther's. Wait, you let her drive? You let her drive? She's surprised. She was what, 10, 11? Wait, she's not. She was 11 when I started letting her drive, maybe 10. She's like, she's a whole year younger. I saw that. And then Mimi, my wife, was, oh my God. No, she wasn't like that either. She's like, going with the flow. Mimi was going with the flow. Yeah. And what I'd like to tell you is that my phone broke in this process. Like the whiplash was so bad. My phone, like I had my phone on my hand, like just holding my phone, like on my knee. Some of that whiplash was so bad, my knee just shoved into the glove box as I'm holding my phone. So that means my phone went into my glove box on top of my knee, between my knee. The glove box was my phone. It got crushed. My phone is now broken and bent. I might have to get a brand new phone because of this. Am I mad? I'll be mad tomorrow. I'll be mad when I have to pay for it. I'll be mad. But Jesus Christ really helped remove a lot of my anger. No, he didn't help. He removed. Jesus Christ removed my anger. Yeah, I still get upset. I still get mad. But rage, it's gone. And I'm so grateful because it's changed my life. My kids are happy to be around me. My wife could tolerate me. Like, life is just better. I'm able to enjoy being in my own head. I'm able to enjoy the reactions I have. And I could give all credit to Jesus Christ that my rage has disappeared. But I'm going to move past this driving lesson and speak about this anger. I had real bad anger management. And anger was a real issue of mine. Like, big issues got me mad, but the little things set me like a firecracker. The little things set me off. Like, holy moly. I'm a yeller. Like, I will yell, and I will scream, and I will put my knife hand in front of you like you are the biggest fucking retard you've ever seen. But God removed all that. I was having real issues in my relationship, which really contemplated ending my whole relationship. Like, you know what? You are the source of my anger, and I am done. I respect myself too much to tolerate any of your bullshit. I still have too much respect for myself to deal with my wife's nonsense. Now I address it with communication. Other than just flat out saying you're dumb, you're retarded, you're the X, Y, and Z. I address it, and I address it like an onion. Here's the issue. Here's an onion. But you cut the layer off. You cut the layer off. And you cut more layers off. Like, all right, we're going to get to the core of this quote unquote stupidity. So let me tell you how I know this is Jesus Christ who's done this for me. Yeah, I was ready to leave her. I was ready to move out. I told my kids, I told my wife, hey, this isn't working out between Mimi and I. I'm some. Yeah, I had that conversation with my kids. Like, it's not working out between her and I. So, yeah, divorce is a real thing. I absolutely love you two girls with all my heart, my soul. That conversation was a real conversation. It was a very awkward, quiet conversation. I said what I had to say, and yeah. Before that conversation was had, though, I was in this bat cave, hitting the heavy bag, just lifting these heavy weights, just repping them out, just savage, just monster mode. And over in my corner, my wife made this thing that said bat cave. It's a bat symbol, cave. And I taped a glow in the dark neon green cross to it. It's not a cross that you turn on and off, but if you hold it up to the light long enough, it glows in the dark. I taped that to it. This is personal. Like, I'm surprised I'm going to share this with you, but this is raw and real. Now, in front of the cross, I was sitting down on my bench press bench, and I was yelling at it. I was knife handing the cross. Oh my God, what type of moron am I? Who am I to talk to Jesus like that? I was just letting into him, like just giving him my burden, just throwing it at him. Like everything. I wanted a good marriage. Boom, take all of it. I want a good marriage. Here's 5 minutes of me just bitching about it. I wanted my wife to be X, Y, and Z. Here's an extra 30 minutes of me just bitching about it. Just loud too. Like at one point, I believe I was so loud my neighbors heard it. And the reason I think that is because 3-4 days later, coming into my neighborhood after work, and I see my neighbor, my next door neighbor, he's just waving me down kind of. I pull up to him like before I pull up to him, I had my music bumping. I'm feeling like yeah. Gent life. That's how I'm feeling. Hood mode gent life. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah, he asked me, is everything okay? Like, yeah, man, everything's okay. Just chaotic. Just my head is here. My head is over here, but I'm right here. I'm detached. I was telling him the truth in simple terms. Nice, simple, honest, good to know terms. He's like, I understand. I understand. Well, that's how I think I know I was that loud. My dad's very loud. My dad is very loud. Was very loud. And I'm just like my dad. I am 100% just like my dad. When they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I would say I damn near didn't fall. I would say I fell from one branch and got caught by the other branch. That's how similar my dad and I are in a lot of aspects. Until recently. I just back to yelling at the cross. Just everything. Just letting into him. Just everything that was bothering me, I just threw at the cross. I just threw it. Boom, boom, boom. And now every time I go to church and I look at the top left corner of the church, I see my anger. I just see that square of just that whole square. The top left corner of that cross is just everything that was killing me. Every time I look at that cross, I just think, damn, thank you, Jesus, for carrying it. That was a burden that was too much for me. And how God just carries that burden for me. This has been 2-3 months now that I've noticed a real difference. Thank you, Jesus Christ. When you say lay things upon the cross, Jesus, you really mean it. This is an episode I'm definitely personally going to share with my mom and dad. Definitely my dad. Anyways. The end of the story goes, I let all my burdens off at the cross. I go upstairs. I have the conversation with my kids. Like, hey, this isn't working between your mom and I. It's not. And I think God allowed that to happen just so everyone was on the same page. Like, hey, this is an unstable home. This home was unstable. Between the bullshit, the pettiness, between both parties, wife and I. Side note, my wife doesn't listen to these podcasts, but I definitely believe she needs to listen to it. I'm not going to force her, because if I try to force her, there would be a resurgence of anger when she didn't do it on my time. So I'm going to tell her, Noemi, I would really like you to listen to this whole podcast. Will you let me know when you listen to all of it? And from there, she'll say yes. I'll let you know she'll let me know when she listens to it. And she could take a whole year to listen to the whole thing. But if it's important to me and not important to her, if it's not important to her, but it's important to me, that is my issue, not hers. I could go down the rabbit hole of, hey, we're a team. But you know what? I don't know if a marriage, I'm going off topic, so I'm going to keep it moving. I come upstairs, have the conversation, and I just say, hey, after the conversation, I go back downstairs for a few hours, and something just told me, go to bed. Go to your bed. So at this time, I've been on a couch in my basement for about a month now. I rarely even saw my kids or wife for about a month now. I came home from work and I went through the back door so I didn't even have to make any contact with my wife. It was that bad to the point where I went downstairs, back dooring it. Like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you at all. I wanted no interaction. It was that bad. And I absolutely love where I'm at now. From all that gutter, just raw, not hate, not evil, just growth. Like Phoenix, not like Phoenix, like a phoenix. Like, hey, oh my God, there's so much stuff happened that just built up to this moment. The Guam trip I've told you about, the passing away of her father that I've told you about, to this moment in the last 11 years of being with her. Just accumulated into this moment. So I go up to her. Someone tells me just go to bed. I go up to bed. I'm asleep by myself for a while. And she comes to bed. Mimi comes to bed. And it's the most beautiful thing when you're just laying in bed, half awake, half asleep, and a girl just scoots her butt up onto your lower end. It's just a beautiful thing when a girl just scoots her butt up onto you. I put my arm around her. And I just lifted her up and pulled me closer to myself. It was the best feeling. I've truly missed her. I truly missed her. I pulled her close, and I just went back to sleep after that. And then from there, that moment of comfort changed everything. Now, that moment of comfort did not change everything, but it let me know that everything was going to change. Yeah, thank you for letting me share my stories with you. Again, if you really enjoyed this and you made it this far, I'm guessing you really did enjoy it. Share it. Please put my story out there. Drop a comment. Interact with me. What type of questions do you have? What else would you like to hear from me? Do you have questions? Do you have concerns? Do you have anything you want me to? Yeah, you drop a comment. I don't care what it is. Drop a comment. I'll address it. I'm sure I'm not going to get too many comments off the get go. Yeah, your comment, your question will be addressed. Ask me a year from now, your comment might not get addressed, but I will do my 100% best to address it. A year from now, I might be getting thousands of comments. But right now, this moment, October 10th, 2003, I'll get 2 or 3. I'm not going to forget the people I started with. Okay? I'm not going to forget you. If you started with me, I'm not going to forget you. Thank you for being here with me. Much love. Peace out. I'm going to change my clothes. I'm going to take a shower. God goes greatness. Looking good.